Sweat Equity Podcast and streaming show. Pragmatic entrepreneurial advice and dick jokes hosted by me, Law Smith, and Eric Reginger. Wow. Is that...
What?
Is that
Sorry.
too loud?
I'm working on it.
Hashtag GirthyRI.
Do you want to get amped or not, bro?
Hashtag
God.
69B2B. Hashtag Sweat Equity. We're on iTunes or your Apple Podcast app, Spotify, Laughable. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, your mom's Walkman, LinkedIn, Medium, Friendster.
Are you reading that off a note you wrote down, Friendster?
No, I ad-lib, man. Come on, I'm a stand-up. I can riff with them, baby. We're sponsored by Grasshopper. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. You get $50 off a business phone line. Don't be a jabroni and have a Google voice number when someone calls your business, your side hustle, whatever you're trying to do. Why? The reason you're listening to this is you want to be better, right? Well, try grasshopper.com/sweat. Hooks you up, hooks the show up. $50 off a business phone line. I just signed up with our code for a new brand I'm with. Boom.
Ooh.
Little kickback
I
to
didn't
us.
get that number.
It's coming in.
Didn't send it to me.
We'll talk to our sponsor rep. FreshBooks, go freshbooks.com. I'm on FreshBooks for my agency, Tokubaga. Go freshbooks.com/sweat. That'll give you a hookup as well. I forget the discount, but there's a good, I think it's $100 or something like that. 50 bucks. Go freshbooks.com/sweat for that QuickBooks alternative. For that zero
Stay focused,
alternative.
stay focused.
I'm on it. I'm watching. And then if you need digital marketing help from
You don't know. Just stop looking at your computer. You're fine. You're
small startup, nano, micro, local sector, Tokubaga, TOCOBA.GA. You can listen to the incremental, Eric's podcast that he doesn't do, or my podcast that I don't do. Work harder, not smarter.
At least I did make some.
That sounds like our guest is here.
Is somebody here?
Our guest is here.
Are you ready to go?
Let's pin him to the chat. We're doing this remote.
All right.
Alex, are you there?
Okay, we got him.
Can you hear us?
Here. Hey, can you hear me?
All right.
Are you done with your ad read, sir?
We're ready to get the show started.
What about my sweat equity?
Let's get to work!
Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
We can hear you, buddy.
We can hear you. He can't hear the music that was playing, huh?
Ah, I see.
Oh, man.
Sorry, you missed the
missing out.
music.
So we're doing, our guest is Alex, I'm going to say Abel, because I like to say it in a weird way. I can't say people's names for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Alex Abel, Abell. Lunchpool.io is the website. Lunchpool to kind of end workplace depression or kind of loneliness. In workplace loneliness is kind of the motto, right?
Yeah, I mean, the motto is it's better when we eat together. So it's, depression, feelings of isolation, all the things that are so prevalent in the digital age where people have forgotten how to talk to each other, really.
Yeah, and you and I were talking, ironically, you may have been dealing with the issue for the reason you created the brand of sorts is you just moved to a new area and you're in that area where you're like, I'm the new guy in town. I don't know if I know a bunch of people,
But you didn't move for Lunchpool, right, Alex?
Oh, my bad.
No, that's correct, yeah.
So it wasn't the great irony of, oh, man, this app's taking off, but I feel so lonely.
No, that would have been a great irony for sure. It was actually, my wife got a job up in Tennessee where I'm at right now. I'm at the Henderson Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship.
Oh, we know. We could tell.
Oh, yeah.
With
You
the
know, you can
background.
tell.
The background that
Yeah.
looks
Very
like chemistry.
innovative
Beautiful
stuff
mind
back there.
scribing. Yeah. But no, we had just actually started to get some traction in Tampa, and then boom, my wife lands this job, and so I do find myself in this new town, having to network, being the new guy, and saying, okay, who do I go eat lunch with today? I'll eat with my dog and my iPhone.
Well, luckily, you're a very approachable and likable guy, Alex. I don't think you're really going to have that much trouble, are you?
Well, thanks. Yeah, I actually have a lunch date today. So
Ah!
I'm getting lucky.
See, I haven't had one in like 7 years. So
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. We gotta work on that, Eric.
This counts.
I don't. Oh, this is it. This is lunch.
We just don't eat. Yeah. You don't eat anyway.
Eat
You're-
crow.
You'd be the worst person to go to lunch with.
I know.
I'm keto.
I would just stare at you and judge you.
Right. I don't do any of that. You shouldn't do that. That's how you talk.
I don't talk like that.
I'm keto, and
So with keto, can you eat at restaurants? Like, is there
Only
food at
special
restaurants?
ones with the signs that say, that they used to be segregated.
Fruit
but it's
flies
like-
only.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you can eat all kinds of stuff.
well, I mean,
Chicken Caesar salad's a go-to if you go somewhere. It's like a chain.
how's that keto though?
Just don't eat the croutons.
Or the Caesar dressing's got to have a bunch of sugar
It's
though, right?
mostly fat. It's all oil and fat.
The real, but all right, we got to
You
we got to
looking
make
at me
a,
like you haven't done like you
we got to make a
know.
declaration though, because that there's the airport Caesar salad, right? That you get the chicken Caesar salad, right? And that has the packet made from like Kraft or something.
Right.
That has a bunch of sugar in it.
Maybe not
Like,
though. Most
probably.
most of the time, Caesar dressing is mostly fat.
Does it taste good?
Yeah.
No, it's usually.
I'm telling you.
All right, we'll look at.
Like you've done no research on this.
I've done zero. I just
And-
feel it. I feel it. It's an emotion.
Yeah.
Food's emotional. I told someone I'm keto today as I ate a donut in front of them. And they're like, "You can eat that?" I'm like, "Yeah, totally." Just lying to
You
them.
can eat whatever you want.
They're gonna
Say-
believe it and just go, "Man, I'm keto now." And just
No,
go
yeah.
to Dunkin'.
No, I do this move with my hand. Okay, now I'm in keto. Now I'm keto. Starting now.
It's an invisible wall I put up
Yeah.
every
Eat a
time.
bunch of cereal. Now I'm keto.
I have been trying to do less sugar, less grain diet, and I feel better. And it's only been like 4 days.
Good.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Get it all out though. No more nothing. No sugar.
Like masturbate.
Zero.
Oh,
That too. It's good for you.
well, yeah. I don't want to be a 35-year-old getting wet dreams. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
not.
walk
I'm
around
not
with a loaded
dating any.
gun.
I'm not going out on the town with any ladies. So
Got an old loaded revolver down there.
yeah, you don't. Yeah, you need to take care of yourself in that way. I guess it's kind of maintenance. It's kind of cruel that nature makes you do that. What do you think?
Would you
Alex?
ever hope Alex? But like, I wonder how long before they talk about jerking off.
Well, look, it's
I knew it was gonna be soon. I knew it was gonna be quick.
That's a good.
we're
that's
on
like
brand.
7.5
You've been on
minutes,
this.
man.
It's actually I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I'm pretty active on the Reddit community, and
Wow.
it's right now
I'm
it's no
so
no
glad you
nut
said
November.
Reddit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
On
pretty
my
active on the
wiener.
message boards on Pornhub.
I mean that's where you make friends, right?
Be like,
Yeah.
that's who does it. I
They're your
see.
they're your internet friends. Yeah.
But no, it's no nut November. You know, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that.
can't.
Sorry.
What's this now? No nut.
I don't know who came up with this shit.
No nut
No-
November.
Oh, just don't nut all November.
What is everybody
December
doing
1st.
a prize fight at the end of the month?
Yeah. Thanksgivings
So
are going to
there's-
be murder fests. with
Yeah.
this
There's a
premise.
there's a subreddit called NoFap, and these people believe that masturbation leads to or like I guess porn addiction, all these different
Uh-huh.
things mess with your brain chemicals to where you feel anxious, anxiety, depression, all this stuff, and they pin all that on porn, masturbation. I stumbled into this weird rabbit hole on the internet, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is this world?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, look, I hang around with comedians, and if that's like a part-time job is going on Pornhub. for them.
Listen, I'm busy. I
And-
got 2 things
Working
I gotta
on
do.
material.
I definitely think it replace. If you look at time as like a commodity, I look at it as like a unit of measurement. Like,
I look at it like a flat circle.
and it's we get to that fifth dimension, man. It's called love. But what I'm saying is, I feel like you can fill your cup up. I think the anxiety is because you realize you're not doing anything except that, and everybody knows they should be doing something else, but they're not getting that social aspect of their life in. And whether people agree, they're lone wolves or whatever, everybody kind of needs some kind of community. Some more, a lot more than others. I like being around people a lot more. I don't necessarily. I'm kind of weird because I like people around me, but I don't necessarily want to be chatty Cathy. Like,
Listen, can
I
you
loved
just stay?
having-
Just stay.
I loved having our
Shut up and
office
stay.
where people were working there, but I don't need to talk to them. I just like having everybody around.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
Watch me work out.
Yeah, watch me work out in the other room because I only got 20 minutes. But so speaking of working out, that's what I was talking to you about because I was like, if you're kind of like in a funk, and we all get in a funk, so there's nothing like embarrassing or any of that about that, and you're open about talking about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to do the lunch pool kind of brand without talking about your own experience. But we were texting back and forth, and it was just like, here's some ideas you didn't ask for that I sent your way. But I was like, I think guys, when we don't have some physical work to do, I think almost all guys atrophy in everything. Like their whole body, mental, physical, spiritual. I think we all atrophy if we don't keep ourselves physically going in one way or the other. That's why I was like, if you can't work out because your back's all fucked up, see if you can do something with your hands, like build something small.
Yeah, it's like an intrinsic guilt.
Right.
Definitely for men. I think it's just more
primal.
It's like I think it's for everybody. Honestly, I think men and women. I don't think it's just men, but men, it's much more obvious.
I think
to us.
I think the effects are greater though.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, working out does cause you to produce testosterone if you're doing the right exercises and things, which can cause a measurable chemical reaction.
So what have you been able to do to kind of curve that lately? That was probably, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, a week ago we talked. Anything to help? Anything? How great was my advice?
So to pump Law's ego a little bit, you hit the nail on the head. I think in our research, what we've been doing with Lunch Pool, we found that there's a lot of latent mental health issues out there, especially in the professional space, and it's becoming less of a taboo to talk about, but it's still a little stigmatized. But I have a family history of bipolar disorder, and it's something that I was like, I've been trying to stay away from talking about. I'm like, I'll just eat right, I'll do exercise, I'll do all this stuff. But I had to really be honest with myself and say, over the past 10 years, I've had these really crazy highs, and that's one of the symptoms of the disorder, where you feel like you have superpowers. You can get a lot done. You don't need sleep. You don't need to eat. But then it's balanced out by these super dulling lows where you just don't want to do anything. And I think I have that family history, those tendencies. And when I was talking to Law, you were basically like, you sound like you're down. I'd hurt my back, so I hadn't exercised in 2 months. And so your advice was well taken. I actually went and I had picked up a $15 projector at a yard sale. Oh
yeah. You showed
we have a big basement room, so I went to Home Depot. I got some boards and I built a projector screen. And it was something simple, but just getting out of the house, having a project, creating something that really helped me focus my energy and effort. And then at the end, you kind of get that like Eric said. You get that endorphin rush where you're like, okay, I did something. I did this.
Yeah, we're all looking for gold stars. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, there's a lot of people. The reason people humble brag online a lot is they don't get the recognition probably a lot in their own life. Like the gym posts, as annoying as those are for a lot of people, I think part of that is like, well, I don't think anybody sees me doing this, right? See,
yeah.
I like to make fun of it, but I'll do it too. And it's in the same way. It's like, we know, all three of us know in digital, assuredly, like your schedule's weird like that sometimes because it's hard to discipline yourself to go, okay, I'm going to stop here and then wake up like a normal person. Because you'd rather just go, you'll figure out a way to justify, well, time, there's a time value of it compounding. If I finish it now, it'll be better down the line. I'd rather burn out a little bit. You justify all that shit and you end up, it's not a good life.
Yeah, especially if you know what you have to do.
Right.
It's not like if you're trying to figure something out, that's something I'm much easier to walk away from and do something differently and come back to it. But if I know, I just got to do this work.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just gonna, I won't stop until I finish it.
Yeah, and it's not, it's tough. That's tough to do in digital. And then the other part, and you don't get recognition really. You never get a client that's like, perfect, awesome, thanks, you're the best. There's always something wrong. Like, you just know turning it in or whatever you're doing digitally, it's never going to be like, oh, you guys are fucking awesome. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of is good and bad, right? It's kind of, I see that like stand up, like your set's never 100%. You talk to any of the big guys too, and they're like, they'll kill, and you watch them off stage and they're like, I don't know, it was okay.
Yeah.
I missed this thing and I fucked this thing up. So there's that part. But what I was saying is the recognition a lot of the time can give you the motivation. Like, I'm a big inertia guy. So like the more I'm doing, the more I can do. And like eventually it becomes this thing where it doesn't feel taxing to do all these things and juggle them all. But when I do hit a lull and I'm not taking care of myself, that it can go the other way too. So I totally empathize with that situation. Like, I've told Eric, there's been sometimes I'm like, yeah, I haven't been sleeping all week, and I just woke up after like 48 hours straight. Just sleeping, basically.
Catches up.
And it's not, and now you have a kid, right? So you have to kind of be wary of it, you know, or aware of it. But, you know, I think the weird thing that we all want is a little recognition. I think lunch pool is good in the way that human interaction for lunch, even with a stranger, right, that just needs a connection of some sort, that is like the basic bitch need of Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Well, and it's something that we've, you know, that I strongly believe in, is that motivation is fleeting. So, you know, an example is, like you said, I have a almost 2-year-old daughter, and, you know, my whole schedule changed, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to squeeze in, you know, some alone me time. It was all either working for clients, working on the startup, you know, whatever it may be, or getting her ready for daycare. So, you know, I went through this extreme burst of motivation a few months ago, and I started getting up at 5 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
And I would go do yoga. I would go work out a little bit. I would, you know, write down my day's activity plan. And that lasted for like 2 weeks, and I felt awesome, you know. But then there's that one day where you
go out to dinner, have some wine.
Exactly.
Maybe sleep in the next day.
Oh yeah.
Have some ice cream after the drinks.
So I think that's another thing that, you know, is the power of what we're doing at Lunch Pool is it's accountability. It's, you know, why do people have coaches? Why do people work out in groups? It's because sometimes you don't have the internal motivation, and you need someone to be like, hey, let's go to the gym. I know you don't feel like it. We're going anyway. And it's just that little nudge that you need that kind of sets you over the top. And it can be the same thing with just taking a break in your day. It's like, oh, I have all this work to do. I need to really focus and hammer down. I got these deadlines. I got clients breathing down my neck. But sometimes you just need somebody to come around and be like, hey, Law, you need a break, man. You're
no, I do it to myself now. I can create my own fake deadlines that aren't as crucial as I'm making them. And sometimes I'll overemphasize, I got to get this done. And it has a negative effect. It's almost like you got too many things running on your computer, and like, I'll slowly get it done, but I'm not focused on it because there's like a weird anxious part. So now I either go, I'll go like do like a 20-minute workout, or like now I'll do a walk because sometimes you just can't. I've already done the workout for the day, kind of thing, and I don't want to do it again. You know, you'll hurt yourself.
Get that treadmill.
I need to get the treadmill.
Dude.
No, I walk outside.
Right, but I can work on the laptop on my treadmill.
I don't, my hands are too sweaty. I can barely do it just sitting still. You see my computer, my keyboard looks gross.
Get a bunch of fans. I'm trying to help you.
No, I'm with you. I'm envious. I can't do that. Like I physically, I don't think I can. I remember I tried to do that in the office with the bike, and I tried to put the laptop on top of the spin bike.
Yeah.
And that's no bueno. But it doesn't mean I can't do other stuff. So I'll dictate stuff. If I'm really on my game, I'll dictate content or dictate ideas for this show, you know, ahead of time. And that's where I needed to get. But for you, it's like I pulled up a study while we've been talking. My friend Tracy, who owns Knockout LA, it's a big kind of fitness brand over in LA. We're getting a lot of attention. I'm pumped for her. We'll get her on the show soon. But you know, 80% of Americans are insufficiently active.
Mm.
That's crazy.
I
So
believe
It's a
it.
big stat.
Previous research has shown that lifting weights helps lift depression, cardiovascular activities, reduce the effects of anxiety, and any type of movement improves mental health. And so, part of it is just getting up and getting out. The hardest part of going to the gym is driving there.
I think that a lot of people have like a thing in their head that I need to do. I got to go to the gym for an hour. And and it's like, I don't feel like going for an hour. It's like, okay, well, I just won't go. And it's like, no, it's not. It's like there was a giant fat guy who couldn't even get out of a chair and he lost 900 pounds, whatever he lost. And he couldn't walk, but all he could do was wave his arms around or whatever he could do.
Yeah.
And it was like, that guy ain't, once he made the decision, he wasn't going to be like, oh, I'm just not going to, I can't, because every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Every movement takes calories. That's what people got to realize.
On
like,
Sunday,
us talking takes calories.
On Sunday, I was feeling a little anxious I felt guilty. I wasn't working and I was tired, right? I was like almost about to flop and go, I might just lay on the couch and just watch Red Zone all day, And I was about in that mode and I was like, the last time I did that, it was nice. Every now and again is fine, right? But it's one of those things where it was like, I'll feel way guiltier that night or Monday morning that I didn't do shit with my life that day. And so I go, what would be the opposite of doing that right now? So I was just like, all right, I could go right back to sleep or I could get up, and we were going to record on Sunday and couldn't do it. And so it was like, all right, we're not doing that. I'm just going to get up and go for a run, and I'll run as far as I can go until I get tired. I was sore from working out the last 3 days pretty hard.
Uh-huh.
I'll just go until I can go, and then I'll we lost you for a sec. And then I'll just jog or just walk until and I just answered emails and got my to-do list set up for that week ahead of time. So I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm a person that even if I just go on a walk, it's not more of an exercise. It'll actually get my brain going in a motivational way to do task work like that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with walking.
Right.
It's, it's moving. It's burning
It's
calories.
not, I always feel, some reason I have to get over this like old lady picture in my head of like little weights and like,
I know.
I'm going on a fast walk.
Exercising.
Yeah.
Nice
This
and
is
easy
exercise.
now. No,
As long as I get other exercise done, to me, that's fine. The walk is just extra.
well, I mean, you're going to burn calories. You're not necessarily going to get the endorphins that a run might give you, but you're still burning the calorie. It doesn't have the...
my hip was getting fucked up, and I was like, well, don't push this. I hadn't been stretching enough, so I was
there
like...
you go.
But it was like, I ended up ran for about 2.5 miles, and then just walked a total of 8. So...
Great. Good job.
And I was like, in Tampa, it's weird because everybody thinks you have a DUI if you walk around in the city. Yeah. It's a weird context because if we lived in New York, you'd walk for 2 hours and that wouldn't be weird. Like if I walked from Eric's place to my place, which is probably 8 miles or so,
you'd get stabbed.
No, people would be like, what's wrong?
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah.
It's like,
I just wanted to.
But if you walked, wanted to take a walk for 2 hours somewhere in a spread out city like this or like Denver or Birmingham or something like that, be
it's
like,
weird.
What's wrong? Are you on crystal meth? What's going on?
It's really messed up that our cities are built that way to
stop judging me for walking on the highways, guys.
It's weird.
And I'm not sure if this is true, so take this with a grain of salt. Maybe I can research it afterwards. But recently, my uncle, he was telling me that your endocrine system and like your lymph nodes and everything replenish while you're walking. So just that movement, it like your body's flushing through everything.
I don't know what either of those do.
I don't know.
I know lymph nodes is like throat.
It's like your hormones.
Oh,
it makes sense. So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, don't know if it's true. We'll have to verify. But it makes sense that if you're just sedentary, if you're just sitting there, your systems are like, oh well, we're good. We're not going to do anything. But if you're walking around, you're moving, you're getting away from your desk, your body's like, okay, it's time to let's cycle through this. Let's get some of these toxins out.
Your body wants to chill out. Your body wants to just be at homeostasis. It doesn't want to burn fat. It doesn't want to do any of that stuff. It wants you to survive. And by getting up and moving around, it's got to change. It's got to, change whatever it's the way it was using their energy systems and all that.
Yeah.
Proportions of burning calories.
How much time we got left?
We got like 5 minutes.
All right,
We'll go to 30 for Alex because he's got a meeting.
Alex, I have a couple random questions I wanted or pitch ideas to you while I got you on the horn here. Do you know how to scrape emails out of Gmail? I can't figure this out. So you used to be able to export all your emails. Let's say, and this is a good advice for anybody that's doing their own new brand or something. Make an email list in MailChimp. You get 2,000 subscribers for free. That's 2001. They start charging you. But you used to be able to take all your emails, anybody you've emailed back and forth with where it predictively pops up, it would automatically get rolled up into a contact list in your Gmail. And then you could export that whole thing into a CSV or Excel file.
Right.
And then
I do know how to do that. So
but wait, you can't do it like that anymore. So Google made an app literally called Google Contacts that you have to tab everybody now. You have to manually go through everybody and add them to your contacts list. So it's not, you can't do it that way.
Yeah, I'm looking at Google Contacts right now. And that's what I was going to suggest. You can export it from there, but you have to actually add them in there.
Yep.
Manually.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out a way to do it. I know there's a bunch of Chrome extensions. I figured you're kind of someone that plays around with this kind of stuff like I do. And I didn't know if you knew anything off the top of your head. It sounds like you don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, you knew about the Duck's Soup thing on LinkedIn. If you want to tell everybody what that was.
Yeah, Duck Soup is pretty cool. There's actually another one too that I haven't mentioned to you before. There's a pretty cool plugin with it goes along the same what I call semi-automation technique. So Duck Soup is a plugin for LinkedIn where you can basically you do a search for a type of person. So maybe they work at a company, maybe they are in a certain industry, and what it'll do is it'll go step by step and view their profiles. And you can send requests, or you can send messages, you can send connections. I just like to view the profiles because LinkedIn has that weird feature where it's like, who's viewed your profile? And so it just puts you in their world, basically.
I think I just read a stat, 60% pay for some premium of LinkedIn, or the active users.
Really?
Yeah, because you can do you can use the cheap version just to see who viewed you.
I know.
That's like $15 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. Curiosity is huge, though. I mean, you want to know like who's
that was everything with Facebook in the beginning. Remember Facebook in the beginning was like you're creeping on some chick and you're like, oh fuck, I accidentally hit like on an old picture of her. I was trying to look at her bathing suit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do that now.
Right, Alex?
Oh no, never. I'm happily married and love my wife.
Yeah. So what's the other alternative to Duck Soup?
Well, it's not alternative to Duck Soup, but it's actually
a new gangster product.
It's a gangster product because it's called Yam, Yet Another Mail Merge. It's a plugin for Excel, so for my Google Office or Google Sheets. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And what it does is you can send a mail merge from your Gmail account.
What is a mail merge?
So mail merge is like on Outlook, wherever you're like, I got this list of 600 people. I want to email them all individually, but I want it to be personalized, but I don't have time to sit there one by one. So you can put in merge fields like, hey, Law, I wanted to invite you personally to come to my digital marketing get together.
And you put the simple HTML code for the like first name, last name, comma. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have a spreadsheet with your contact list. You run this plugin and you can send a like personalized email to all your people.
And that's
newsflash, asshole.
Is that connected to LinkedIn? Is that what you said?
No, it's not connected to LinkedIn. It's just a similar, I call it semi-automation because it's like, what's something that I would do anyway, repeatedly.
Right. Why wouldn't you just do it through MailChimp though?
Well, with MailChimp, there's a certain amount of, you've heard of the term banner blindness, right?
Nope.
So you go to a website, you just don't even see the ads because we're so conditioned to ignore them. Well, it's the same thing with emails. When they see an email come through, Of course, I click on all your ads.
I'm
But
sure you do. Yeah.
but in my inbox, if I get an email and you can tell there's like little cues where you can see that it's from MailChimp or from a mailing list.
Yeah.
You just kind of ignore that. But if you get an email from a friend,
You ignore
it's
that.
kind of nice.
You got to remember, not everybody's
ignore it.
analytical like you. I have to remember.
Yeah.
I do dumb guy math. Like, I can see stuff. I know ads are hitting me. I'll still click on them. Like, I know why they're targeting me. And I know the whole UX, but it's like, I'll still click on a random ad and get suckered into it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, nobody likes to get suckered. Speaking specifically of LinkedIn, I don't know if you saw my other trick that I've been kind of putting out there, and a lot of people were pretty receptive to it. One of my posts got like I think 6,000 hits on it. It was basically, if you look at my name on LinkedIn, there's a light bulb before my name.
Yeah.
And I don't do that just to stand out. I do it because I hate over excessive automation. And so a lot of these people that are using bots to connect and message you, when it puts your first name in, it doesn't recognize the emoji.
Oh,
So it'll say,
that's good.
It'll say, "Hey, Alex, I'd love to connect with you." And I'm like, okay, like sometimes I'll let one slide, but then some of these people have a whole sequence where it'll be like, "Hey, Alex,
Yeah.
notice you haven't responded. Are you too busy?" And like that, I'm like, okay, that's too much. You can't automate the whole relationship building process.
I might copy that. Is there, what should I put in that? What's a good emoji I should put in there?
The eggplant.
Eggplant?
Eggplant would be fitting for you.
I think the new position. I just accepted it like that. I got a bunch of those generic, congrats on your new role. And I replied to everybody, hey, thanks for the generic response.
I know.
Why does LinkedIn even do that? It's kind of annoying.
Because they just followed what Gmail is doing, where you can do, they pick 3 answers for you. But like, I don't understand I get the replies. I don't get like, hey, you should send a generic message to him that everybody knows is generic.
Right.
So the people who thought it was funny that I gave them a little shit about it, now I like them. Like, I have 3,000 connections on LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIn whore. So I don't know most of the people I have on there.
Well, LinkedIn should just, like, they could have that feature, but they could just send you one and be like, hey, these 300 people that you're connected with said congratulations, good job. Like, you don't need an individual message for.
That's even less personal.
Yeah, but you're not playing to the endorphins part of like, ooh, people like me, because that's a lot of it. Let's be honest. That's why they want people to DM you.
Oh yeah, baby.
I mean, that's like I see it in the dating apps too.
Chemicals.
There's an endorphin rush everybody gets from like, ooh, you matched up with someone. All right, buddy. Good. You sound sprightlier. Even though we talked via text.
Oh yeah, I feel a lot
time.
better.
Good.
It's all that. It's because I reached out to my buddy Law.
Yeah.
Good advice, and I followed it.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm a healer.
Cool.
What about my sweat
You guys got
equity?
it taken care of.
Lunchpool.io. Get connected.
Sweat equity.
Get on that beta.
My sweat equity.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Later.
What about my sweat equity?